Hello and welcome to the very first episode of the Clean Hour podcast. My name is Michael and I'm one of your co-hosts for this podcast. And if anyone's not seen me before, I have an exterior cleaning business here in the UK, and I also help other exterior cleaning businesses to grow using paid ads, automations and digital marketing. So just briefly what this podcast is going to be. I'll introduce my co-host in a minute, Matt Brookfield, but we've spoken about this for a while. And there's lots of podcasts out there for exterior cleaning and pressure washing and things like that, but they tend to be more focused on equipment and surfaces and how to clean and that kind of thing, which is great. And keep doing what we do and it's wicked. But we thought there was a gap in the market for something that was more towards growing a business, scaling a business, how to sell, how to market, how to get more leads. And it's more the business side of running a pressure washing or exterior cleaning business. So if you're looking for something out there that's how to clean, what chemicals to use, that kind of stuff, that's not what this is. And that won't be for you. But if you want to grow your business, learn how to scale it, and really put the core foundations into your cleaning business, then this is hopefully the podcast for you. So the structure of it is, well, first of all, it's the clean hour. So we want to keep it under an hour. If we go over an hour, it's going to cut off. So it's just an incentive to keep it actionable and to keep it under an hour so you guys can listen and take things away and start implementing things right now. And the idea is the first 12 episodes are going to be a structured plan. So literally from day one, so today's episode is all about vision and goal setting. And we're going to go 12 weeks, one episode a week, and it's going to follow on from the next. So hopefully from this one into 12 weeks time, there'll be a little journey. And if you're just starting out now, your business will be in a good place. If you've been going years, hopefully these 12 weeks will really help you along and to help you grow there. And after 12 weeks, the episodes will kind of be a bit more random. Maybe we'll get some guests on and just kind of random topics, but it'll always be about how to grow and scale your cleaning business. So that's just a bit about the podcast. That's a bit about me. Now over to Matt. So Matt is my co-host, and I'll let Matt introduce himself now, but he's going to be with me along with the journey for this as well. So Matt, how's it going?
Yes, all good. Thanks, Michael. And just listening to what you've been saying, this is going to be something different from the norm. And like you said, I agree. There's some great podcasts out there for the cleaning, how to clean, what to clean, and all that, and personal journeys. But this is going to bring value on a different level, I think. People want to know, how do I market? How do I do this? How do I get sales? How do I price? How do I build structure? And this is what it's about. So my background is I've been in the cleaning maintenance world for over 25 years with companies building and exiting. All the ups and downs, many disasters, cost me thousands of pounds, but I've had some good successes as well. So yeah, right, looking forward to it. Really looking forward to getting into this. I think the next 12 weeks are going to be packed with value for anybody who's in the exterior cleaning world. This is going to be the place to be, I think, mate. Definitely.
Yeah, man. I think we've got hopefully a good balance as well, because like you said, you've been in the game a long time, longer than me. We've both made failures. You've made failures. I've made failures. My background is more marketing and digital marketing and ads and kind of thing. And yours is about mentoring and growing a successful cleaning business. So hopefully it will balance each other and it'll be a really good perspective and it will help you with your business. Like we said, not if you're just starting out, great, follow this journey with us. If you've been going years, this can help you as well. It will apply to anyone, no matter what stage you're at in your business, this will help you. So we're all going to start today with vision and goal setting. What's the importance, Matt, of having a vision for your cleaning business from the start?
I think what people do is, right, I think if you go right to the start of it, people might be in a job and they're looking at coming out and going into starting on their own. And one of the things that I think people miss from day one is the actual vision and the goal that they're trying to achieve. They just go, right, I'll fill up my job. I'm going to start external cleaning. I'm going to go and buy a jet wash. I'm going to go and do this. I'm going to get it up and running, and I'm going to do some ads. I'm going to do a bit of Facebook, and I'm going to start my business, which is great, right? Making the first step is brilliant, but you need to bring it back. And before you even get to that point, you need to look at your goals. Why are you doing this? Is it financial? Do you want 10 vans? Do you want to become the biggest exterior cleaner in the southwest of England? Do you want to go national? What is it? What is the goal you are aiming for? If it's financial, that's absolutely fine. But anything then comes back to the vision, right? What is the vision? The vision links up with your values, your personal values. Because at the start, and as you go on this journey, it's going to be, your business is about you and your values. You know, if something doesn't sit right with you, you can't keep this act up forever in a business. So it needs to align with you and your personal values, right? If it's integrity, if it's trust, these are all things that are close to you, and you're really, I do hold integrity and I do hold trust really high up on my values, you know. So building a company around that and understanding what you are and how you act is going to make it a lot easier to build it. So it's really important at the start of the journey that you get that. It doesn't need to be spent hours on it, but you just need to have an idea about that. And definitely, mate, right at the start, it's number one.
It's interesting because, like you said, it doesn't have to be this really detailed plan from the beginning. You just have to know roughly what direction you're going in and what you want from it, I think. Because life changes, right? And as you get older and things happen and people come in and out of your life, the goals move, don't they? The people move their plans accordingly with what's going on with their life. But I think if you just go blindly into it, I think that's why you see, like maybe in the UK, maybe September time, a lot of people sell up and they don't last the whole pressure washing season, and that's them gone then. And I think it's because they just, like I just said, they're going into it blindly. They're not thinking about it. They're just thinking, can I make a bit of money? Or, you know, let's just do it because I've seen a video on YouTube, or I want out of my 9 to 5. That's it. That's as far as they go with it. Let's see what happens. But having a plan, those who have a plan, I think, are the ones who are in it long term and are in the game in years to come.
Absolutely right. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory. When I started my journey into cleaning and maintenance, my goal was to be the biggest cleaning and maintenance contractor in the southwest of England. That was my goal, right? That was my goal. And I went hell for leather trying to achieve that. But that's what drove me every day. The goal was there. You know, there was never an end in sight because I never knew when that end was. But that was the goal. Was it to have 100 vans? Was it to have 1,000 vans? Don't know, but the goal was there. That's what I was building. That's what got me out of bed every morning, was the goal. The goal was, that's what I wanted to be.
Was that a goal because we spoke about this before, off camera, is I think ego comes into play. I'm not having a go at you for having a big ego, but I think it hits us all, right? So I was kind of similar, and then with an older business I was as well, wanting to be the biggest and the best. But for you, was it financial, or was it to say that you're the biggest? What was the...
It was ego. It was ego.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's human.
Yeah, it was ego. I think like in anything I've ever done, I've always gone balls to the wall and gone at it. I don't half-arse things. You know, everything's got to be full on. So it was ego. I wanted to be known as the number one cleaning and maintenance contractor in the southwest of England. And that was it. It was all about ego. It wasn't about flexing it. Social media wasn't a thing, right, when I started. So it wasn't as if I was going on social media and posting, you know, look at me, I've got 2 vans, I've got 3 vans, I've got 10 vans. You know, I didn't use any social media for probably 20 years. None at all. So it wasn't about going out and flexing it and lording it over people. People didn't know. Most people I spoke to didn't even know we existed because we never had social media. But from a personal point, I just found I needed something to get me out of bed, to keep me motivated, to keep growing it. And that was from day one, was to be the biggest cleaning and maintenance contractor in the southwest of England. That was it. That was it.
And were you?
No, probably not. I was close. I had 109 members of staff, and we ran 29, 30 vans at the height with subcontractors, with a £2.2 million turnover annually.
It's not bad, is it?
No, it's not bad. Don't go on. It was painful. It was a painful journey, but I learned a lot scaling and building that. But it came back. But everything I did was set against my vision, my goals, and my personal beliefs. Right. I swear a lot. I didn't change that. Didn't matter what boardroom or meeting room I was sat in. I was still me, because you can't build something if you're pretending to be someone else, right? If you pretend to be someone else, if it doesn't align with your values, then you're going to get found out pretty quick, right? And the problem is, when you set these visions and goals, right, people have this they have this preset thing that they think, oh, this is what I need to be. I need to be like this to get the work in. And they then put this charade on and become somebody that they're not. And people around them, their friends are like that. Who the fucking hell is he? What's he become? It just isn't what... You just need to be authentic. You need to be authentic. If you swear a lot, or you don't swear a lot, or you don't speak a lot, just be authentic in the rooms you go into. Just be you. And if you be you, then there's nowhere to hide. People will, especially now with social media, if people see you online and you're trying to be polished and all this fucking jazz and then they meet you in person, they go, well, it's like two different people. So it's really important to be the same online as you are offline, but that starts on day one. Have a goal to get you out of bed. Have a goal that, I'm going to touch on another point there as well, right? We overestimate what we can do in 12 months, right? But we underestimate what we can do in 10 years. Now, if you think about that with your goal, right, we do it all the time. I still do it to this day. I overestimate what I can do in 12 months, but underestimate where you can be in 10 years. And that's really powerful right at the start, right? So what I'm trying to say is don't try and do everything in 12 months, right? This isn't a quick win. This isn't a quick, right, I'm going to build a company, I'm going to set me goals, set me vision, and I need to do it all this year. You've got however long you want it in front of you to do it. But then when you ask people what's the goal, they go, well, I don't know really. I just maybe have a member of staff and, we just do a bit, and that's fine. But set your goal massive. Because it keeps you driving every day, doesn't it? So I suppose a question back at you then, Michael, when you started your cleaning business, Clean Soul, what was your goal? Did you have a goal? Did you wake up? If you didn't, that's fine. But did you have a goal and thought, this is what I want to be?
I love the build. And if anyone's entrepreneurial listening to this, I think you'll definitely feel this, is there's a great book. I don't know if anyone knows Simon Jordan, he's on TalkSport now. He used to own Crystal Palace. I think he was Phones for You or Car Phone Warehouse is one of them as well. But his book's really good. It's all about his journey and it's all about entrepreneurialism. And he said in his book, and this I read it a few years ago, it said the thrill for an entrepreneur is in the hunt, not the kill. And I think that resonated with me massively, because I won't not give you a full history of myself, but I used to have a wedding business, right? A photo and video business. I built that over about 2.5 years from about 5 or 6 weddings a year to 94 weddings the next year. So it went really quick. But I was getting out of bed every single day to build it and to work on the socials and to get clients and all this. I was loving it. Fast forward 18 months, I had an office, 3 members of staff overlooking Birmingham city centre. And I sat there and I was like, what now? I'm not happy now. This is boring. And the thrill had gone, and then it was a stress for me. So I guess I wanted something new. I wanted a new challenge, but also I wanted something different. Like I just wanted something different. I think some people want that in life, is just a complete change. I remember saying to you, I think it was last May when we first started speaking. Did I say I wanted an honest day's work or something? I think that's what I said to you.
That's what you said. I want an honest day's graft with my hands.
Yeah.
I'd been too much.
Yeah, I'd been too much in, I don't know, stuck behind a desk a lot and just doing things that I didn't want to do, working weekends. I thought, just something different, old school, that it can build. The AI is probably not going to take. And then I saw a thing one day on Twitter that said, boring businesses set you financially free. Here are my top 10. And number 1 was pool cleaning. Obviously, that won't work in Birmingham. Number 2 was pressure washing. And I've said to him before, I think it was Ashley McIntosh. It was one of his videos. I've said to him since. It was him pressure washing a drive. And I went, that's it. That's what I want to do. And I saw it and I went, I'm going for it. And it was for me, it was the thrill of building it and growing it. That's what drove me. But then I guess it was financial in the end, isn't it? Does it always come down to money? I think it probably does in one way or another. I think most people get into this at the minute. Yes, because they're bored of the 9 to 5 and AI is changing things. But ultimately, I think it's they want to make more money. Is that fair to say?
I think it is fair to say that is. And I also think because people see this as a low barrier to entry, that it's something that you can pick up, pretty easily and get into it. We see it all the time that, the comments on social media that the Karcher boys are ruining it because it's so easy to get a jet wash out your garage and go and clean someone's patio. It's, I'm not saying that the standard's going to be good, but it's so easy to get into it. It's so easy. You need a jet wash and a water supply and you're off and running, aren't you? Right from day one. But I would say that the money side of it does attract people, and rightly so, because if you get it right, there is a massive reward there for you, But I would say everybody comes in with the money at the forefront. Then once they're into it, that's when things start to change. Because then you can, there's a lot of people that I follow, that you follow probably as well, who are building lifestyle businesses that aren't working 5 days a week, working 3 days a week. Because 2 days a week they're taking the kids to school, or they're just sitting in the garden, or they're going fishing, or they're doing whatever they're doing. It's a lifestyle business. They can earn enough money in 3 days not to worry about working 5 days, And I think people are becoming very aware of that now. I think people are becoming very aware of this lifestyle business. And as sad as it may sound, people are also cottoning on, this isn't a dress rehearsal. We're not here forever. Yeah. So why do you want to work 40 hours a week in an office or in a factory or in a shop for someone else, where I could work probably 25 hours a week for myself, probably earn more money and do what I want to do? And I think that once you're in it, then I think you then start seeing the change in people.
I think COVID changed a lot of things for people. People realised that, like you said, we're not here forever. You do only get one life. But also, I've had a bit of time at home now, working from home. I've had that, even though they were still working for people working from home, it felt a bit more like they were working for themselves. Is that fair to say? Like you had that, you weren't commuting every day. Someone wasn't telling you when to sit down at a desk and all this. It was a small taste of it, I think. And people were like, imagine if I could have that forever, like all the time. And I think that's what's driving. I mean, so many people are in this industry right now, and some people see it as a bad thing. I don't necessarily see it as a bad thing, but if you think of all these courses that are out there, they're all churning out probably 200, 300, 400 people a year, each of them, and there's probably 4 or 5 big hitters. So you do the math there. So this is a big thing that's happening. It's a whole social change. Society is changing, and we've said this the other day. How easy is it to build a business right now? Like, I'm 33, so I kind of grew up with YouTube and stuff. But if I just flash back to when I very first started trying to be entrepreneurial, there wasn't that much out there, really. There was stuff out there, of course there was, but you can pick any business now, but obviously let's keep it to pressure washing. Think of all the resources that are available to you right now on YouTube, school, the courses, anything, even just watching your YouTubers who you like to follow. It's easy, man. If you do the right things, it's easy, but it takes a lot of hard work to get there.
Absolutely. And it's not the, they say that the first 3 years are the hardest and people, fail and give up. The business fails in the first 3 years. And it's not because the idea is bad. It's because they've not got the mentality for it. Because everyone thinks it's going to be rosy, right? Everyone thinks, just put some flyers out, or I'll do a bit of Facebook ads, or I'll do a bit of Facebook social media, and I'm going to be busy because I see other people that are busy. And it's not like that. There's so much more that goes in behind the scenes, which we're going to talk about over the duration of these 12 weeks. And people jump ship. It's like you said at the start, didn't you? People will be selling their equipment in September this year because it's not because their idea is bad, it's not because they're in the wrong area. It's because their own mentality doesn't allow them to keep pushing on. And that comes back to this goal setting, right? Because they probably just went and bought a jet wash, went out with no idea what they're going to do, no idea why they were doing it. Or they just thought, oh, you know what? I don't want to work for X anymore. I'm going to do it myself. But if you have a goal and you never lose sight of that goal, it doesn't matter how bad the days are, does it? You're going to keep going. You're going to keep going. If your goal's to earn £1 million a year, then you're going to keep going. But people don't set the goals at the start. They just literally go into business and hope that it's going to be fine. But something has to keep you motivated. Something has to keep you motivated, and something has to keep you consistent. And what that is your goal. If your goal's to clean 1,000 roofs a year or 1,000 driveways a year, if that's your goal, guess what? You're going to get out every day, get out of bed every day, and you're going to go and smash 2 driveways a day, every day, 7 days a week. If that's your goal, you're going to try everything you can to achieve your goal. And people don't do that. They just come in, go and get a bit of equipment, and then think it's going to be okay. But they've nothing driving them. The drive was to get out of the job. That's not enough. It's not enough. You need to set these and just be mindful of them right at the start of your journey. Right at the start of your journey. And that's what I would be saying with your goal setting, definitely.
Well, let's make it happen then. Let's take it back. So let's imagine someone's at day one.
Yeah.
Or they've been going years but don't have a goal, so they're technically going back to day one. They're resetting. Is the best thing to do to pick a goal, let's just say, over 12 months. So let's say we're in April here, 26. By April 27, I want to do this. And whether that is, I want to earn 100 grand, I want a second van, I want to leave my 9 to 5. Is that the best way to do it, and then work backwards?
Yeah, I would say if well, there's 2 parts to that, isn't there? There's someone who's just starting and there's someone who's already in it, right? Setting goals keeps you motivated and keeps you driving forward. As long as you're that type of person to go at them, right? And if you set a big enough goal, then you're always going to be trying to get to it, right? Which keeps you motivated. But yeah, you could pick, where are we now? We're in April, right? You could say, let's say you are you predominantly do driveways, right? You look back at last year's numbers and you say, right, well, last year I did 200 driveways. I'm just making these numbers up. I did 200 driveways last year, right? I did 200 driveways. This year already, I'm on 30, right? Right, well, I want to do 250 this year. Right, that 250, that's my goal. My goal is to get to 250 drives this year. Then that's quite a realistic goal, right? But you're going to have to work behind the scenes to make that happen. But that goal is going to keep you driving. It's going to keep you going forward. You're right. There's a different thing, isn't there, between entrepreneurs and people that work for people, right? Entrepreneurs are driven. We need something to drive us. We like you said earlier, we like the hunt. So if that goal is 250 drives this year, there's your hunt. You've done 40, you've now got 210 that you need to hunt down. That is going to get you out of bed and keep you motivated. But if you've just not got a goal and you're just aimlessly waiting for the phone to ring or just trying to do a bit, it just spirals away. You're just not focused on it. You need something to really bring you in. As an entrepreneur, something that gets hold of you and says, right, this is it. And it's like a personal challenge, isn't it? Yeah. And there's nothing better than beating it. Nothing better.
Yeah, 100%. And if you need something to bounce you out of bed early, that's what I think you need. Because that you're not going to... If you're not asked about getting up and working on your pressure washing business, you don't really want it deep down, because there'll always be someone that will outwork you who wants it more. So you've just got to outwork them. And for me, if you do the right things, and a lot of them we're going to speak about over the next 12 weeks and throughout this podcast, if you do the right things, almost like tick them off every day, every week, every month, you can't really not hit your goals, can you? It's almost a formula. It's almost like the recipe for a successful pressure washing business. It's not rocket science. It's not some mad thing that, there's a £1 million company there, oh my God, I'll never do that. Of course you can do it. Absolutely, you can do it. You've just got to do the right things. And I say this with respect. I don't make me sound like a dick, but the bar's low. We've said this before. The bar is really low in this industry. You don't have to do that much to get ahead of your competition. They're simple things, but they're just things that people avoid. So the goals can be so achievable. You just have to, one, accept and realize that you can do it and believe in yourself, and two, make it happen. And if you do those things, it's not going to be long until you start seeing results, I don't think.
Did you see the post I put on social media last week, about the £1 million book that I had?
Remind me of it.
So I had, when I back in the day, when I started with my first company as a window cleaner, right? I had a book. I had a banner A4 book, and every job I did, I wrote in this book, right? This is pre. I had an old computer, right? I wasn't good on computers. We had no internet. We never had anything like that, right? So I had this book, and everything used to get written in this book, and I called it the £1 million book. And one of my goals, financial goals, was to invoice £1 million as a one-man band in that book.
In a year? Or
No, God, I wish it was a year. I was on my own. I was a one-man band, so yeah, it would have been nice on my own. But there wasn't a time frame. The time frame was to close that book at £1 million. And I've still got the book. And this is 22 years I've had that book. Nothing's ever been written in it for 22 years. But I kept the book. And I took a picture of it the other day in my office and put it on social media.
I didn't see this, no?
Yeah. If you go back through my social media, you'll see me holding a book. And the date and the figures are circled on there. It took me 4 years, 4 months to invoice £1 million as a one-man band. And that was just a financial goal. It was a financial goal. And I wrote in the post in there, I sold everything I owned, all my fishing gear, because I needed space in the garage. I didn't socialise. I didn't go on holidays. But I was driven to close that book at £1 million. And I closed it. I closed it at £1 million. I was like, okay, that's that done. But it got me out of bed. It got me. There was no Facebook ads. There was none of that. It was literally networking, word of mouth, door knocking, leafleting, going to businesses, knocking on the door, introducing myself. But it allowed me, that's what kept me driven, was that £1 million book. And you can see how it kept me driven, because I've still got it today. I've got that book. We're talking about it 25 years later. And it's there. It's in the copy.
It's amazing. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's on all my socials, yeah. I put it on this week.
Did you celebrate the win? Because I think that's an important thing as well. We've got every year we do like a goal board, me and my wife, and we put a few things that are important to us and we put them on a big piece of paper. I recommend anyone doing this because it's to have it and put it somewhere, frame it and put it somewhere visual. So it's in our bedroom. So when we left the bedroom, we'd see it on the wall. And you're meant to like celebrate any win. For example, if you have, let's just make it for this podcast, clean 10 drives. Let's just say that is one by February. You tick it off and you celebrate and have a little beer when you get there. And it's kind of like micro goals. So if let's just say, like you said, it's 100 driveways or whatever it is, whatever that is a month, about 10 a month or something. Have it 10, 20, 30, 40. Have these goals, or have the holiday to Maldives or leave the 9 to 5 or whatever it is. Put it on your goal board, new car, whatever, and celebrate it when you do it, but have it visually so you can look at it. Like Matt's book that you just said there, that was something like physical, the £1 million book. I'm guessing you had that out every day, or it was near your desk or somewhere where you'd see it and you go, fuck yeah, that's my goal. That's why I'm doing this. And when times get hard, and when you're feeling awful and your machine's blowing up and you got no customers, you still going, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing it because you can see something visual.
Yeah. And that book was my invoicing book. It was. That's how I invoiced as well. I invoiced on that book. So I wrote 001, the date, the job, the value, paid, and then a paid date, yes or no. And that was my invoicing book. That's how I invoiced jobs back in the day. But I'd set that book up to be the £1 million book. And I never once in my life thought I would be talking about it 25 years later. But but it was so important at the time because it was a small, like you said, a micro goal. Did I celebrate it? I can't remember. Probably not because I was too busy. But I think as entrepreneurs, we don't like to celebrate anyway. I just don't think that's part of us. We just need to go on to the next thing.
This is something I want to talk about. I think it's so important. I've probably been entrepreneurial, if you want to call it that, since 2018, probably, pushing 10 years. I've never celebrated anything ever until recently. But I think that's dangerous. Like we were saying at the start, the goals move and your benchmark moves. I remember one of my goals in my last business when I was a videographer and had a video company was I was still employed by someone, and so I was building this up as a side hustle. And I said, I'll know I've made it in my head when I go for a walk one day in the morning. I have no boss, and I go back, and there's loads of work for me to do that can make loads of money. And I was walking one day in the park in the morning, went for an early walk with a coffee, and I sat down on a bench. And I was sitting there and I thought, this is it. I've done it. This is the goal that I thought about 2 or 3 years ago. And I haven't even thought about it because now my goal is to earn this amount and to have an office and have staff. And it happened so much that I didn't even think about it. I didn't even celebrate it. And now I was worrying about the next goal. And I actually think it's really important to celebrate it and to realize where you've come because it motivates you again. And it makes it more achievable. If you hit a goal, recognize it. Because it's a big achievement. Not many people, I don't know what the actual percentage is. It's probably 95% of people are employed, I'm guessing. 9 to 5, whatever it is. Yeah. To have a business and to make money, even if it's £1 or whatever, I think that's amazing. To go out and put yourself out there and to build something and take the risk. I think you're ahead of a lot of people. And I think it's important to celebrate it.
100%. But I do think that anybody that is entrepreneurial does suffer with celebration. I just think we suffer with it. And I look back and I think we do things slightly different. I remember when we were at the height of what we were doing, I remember going, rightly, wrongly, going into Range Rover and buying a brand new Range Rover Sport for £123,000 just on a whim, I lost 70, 40 grand I lost on that car a year later. But we live and learn, innit? It was, and you know what? This is the sad thing with it, right? The only time it felt good was buying it. When I drove it off the forecourt,
yeah,
it just had gone. It had gone. I didn't feel anything. And I just thought, fucking waste of money this is. It's real sad that, isn't it? But I just think that it was just a waste of money. But I think...
That's normal though, that's human.
It is human. And you see it all the time with these, with really, really successful people. And they're telling their backstory. And they say, when I bought a Porsche when I was 23 and I thought I was the lad driving around London. And everyone says the same now. And I'd say the same on a different scale. I think, fuck it, waste of time. And I think I don't think we like the celebration. And you're right, we should celebrate because anybody that wants to go on their own and enter this environment of uncertainty, and pressure, and especially if you start growing and you start employing people, with your goal setting, right? If your goal is to have 5 vans, if your goal is to have 5 vans, then you're going to have minimum 7 or 8 people work for you. And what changes is those 7 or 8 people now rely on you for their mortgage or their rent and their bills. Yeah. And that pressure alone is massive. And nothing sets you up for that. Nothing sets you up. You start off on your journey, right? On your one man, one woman journey to be an exterior cleaner. But nothing gets you ready for the pressure of actually somebody looking at you going, boss, we've got no work next week. I've got a mortgage to pay. Those bills don't disappear. Those overheads don't go away. You still got to pay that person. You've got to pay all your overheads. And nothing actually gets you ready for this. And that's a real big step. It's a real big change in the mindset going from you as an operator to employing people. Everything we talk about today, right, it all links back to the goal setting, the vision, and your values. It all comes back to that, but you've really got to be thinking about this. If your goal is to have 5 vans in, 2-3 years' time, then you want to start looking at how you're going to recruit, when you're going to recruit. And we'll cover all this in later podcasts, but it's really, really important. Really important.
I think it's interesting though saying that. And if your goal is 2 or 3 vans, 7 members of staff, I'm not saying you don't go for it, right? Absolutely go for it. If that's what you want, go for it. But I have found a common theme, right? And you might have seen it too. I found it in my old business. I could name. I'm obviously not going to name them, but 4 big companies in this industry who have grown, got all the 7-8 members of staff, got the the unit, got the vans, and they backtrack it. They realise that it wasn't worth it because the grass isn't always greener. You can make in this industry. You can make sometimes more profit on your own with maybe just a labourer and 1 van compared to having the staff and the vans, because like you said, first of all, let's talk about the stress. Yeah, if you've got staff and vans, they are relying on you. You are feeding families, kids, mortgages, you're doing all of that. And quite often, I know you will tell me you should be first to get paid, but people, quite often you're the last to get paid if you don't think about it. So all these people are getting paid first, your responsibility is then you take profit that's not what you wanted because you've had to put all your overheads out and you've had the stress of it all. And I know quite a few companies who have gone big towards the millions and scaled back. And I think there's a reason for that. So that's not to put you off doing it, but just weigh it out. Like, because I get messages a lot. It's like, I want to have this van. I want to get 2 vans. But why? Why do you? Is it just because to say you have? Have you actually looked at the figures and gone, how much I'm going to make with 3 vans personally for me taking home compared to 1? And I guess you can have some experience in that, right, with your roof cleaning business?
Yes. So my first journey was to be the biggest, and I've always had that mindset to be the biggest everything we've ever done. And when I started the roof cleaning, was the same again. I had my goal was to be the biggest roof cleaner in the southwest of England, because I don't do things by half. I wanted to be the biggest roof cleaning contractor. So we set off on that journey, planned it, had the goal, had the vision, everything aligned like we do anyway. Had the office staff, got the marketing sorted, bang, started building the brand, the personal brand, and set off on that journey. Ended up with 2 vans, 2 cherry pickers, a tipper truck, a unit, everything was going. But the stress was off the scale. What I found out very quickly was that it's not so much seasonal, but it has phases. And I don't want to say it has phases for the seasons. Roof cleaning has phases. 1 minute, the inquiries are coming through the door at 1,000,000 miles an hour and everyone's buying. Next minute, they're coming through the door very slowly and you're sort of dragging the money out of people. Well, I was then, the stress of paying bills and all those overheads, I just said, nah, I need to relook at this. I need to relook at the model. And don't be afraid to change your goals. So that's a real big important thing. So my goal was to be the biggest roof cleaning company in the southwest. And I looked at competitors that were in front of me with 6, 7, 8 vans, 8 blokes. And I thought, I'm going to outrun them. I'll outrun them. Not a problem. Fast forward 3 years, I've gone the other way. I've gone back. I've built a lifestyle business that we clean 3 or 4 roofs a week, 3 or 4 days work a week. The profit is maximum, which is great. There's no stress. We're booked solid till the end of August. I'm like, it's really, really good. And then I speak to these competitors and they wish they had gone back, like you said. And so it's not always about being the biggest and the best. It's not. You've just got to work out If you want to be the biggest and the best, oh, absolutely, go and do it. And I applaud anyone who wants to do it. But if you want to earn good money and have a lifestyle, then, like we said right at the start, we're not here for a long time. We've got to have a good time. And you can work yourself into the ground. And actually, when you look back at it, you think, Christ, there's not much money in that, is there?
Yeah.
Because it's massive. The overheads
a great
are
way,
massive.
a great thing that I would do, sorry to interrupt you there, that I did, I recommend anyone doing it, is make a figure, come up with a figure, put a little spreadsheet down, put your mortgage or your rent, all your bills, any savings, any credit cards, whatever it is, a holiday you want, a car, whatever it is that you want, all the things that you want, let's just say a target in 12 months, put it in a spreadsheet, add your tax on, and then you'll have a number then, right? Divide that by 12, then you will see what you have to make each month to hit those goals that you set there for 12 months' time. And if you can achieve it as a one-man band comfortably, stay as a one-man band, in my opinion. There's no need, unless you're going to move your goals then and make it bigger, which you eventually will if you hit them. You don't have to always have 2-3 vans, like Matt's just said. You can, so often you can make more profit on your own. So don't worry that you have to have 2 or 3 vans to have this £100,000 salary or whatever it is that you want to achieve. Work backwards, get the figure, divide it by 12, work backwards, and that's the best way to do it. And that's what you told me last year when we started working together, and it's really important.
It is, you're right. But I think people come into this, right? We know that social media, you can say whatever you want on social media, can't you? And you can portray yourself to be the biggest, the best, the fastest, the cleanest, whatever, really quickly. And I think people looking at it, I think they get credibility by having 2 or 3 vans. Yeah. And I think that's what they play on. And I hear it, right, with the mentoring, the number of people I speak to. And you know what? Pretty much the first question they ask me is, how do I get into commercial? How do I get into commercial?
I was going to bring this up in a sec. I knew you were going to mention it.
Honestly, and it's bizarre. And I by the end of the conversation, I pretty much have taught them out of it. But people have got this real mad, vision that commercial is the goose that lays the golden egg.
Do you remember I asked you last year?
Yeah, and I taught you out of it, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
Because it just isn't. It isn't. But if you've never done commercial work, right? If you've never done commercial work, you don't know, do you? And I always say you don't know what you don't know. People see commercial work, think, well, if I can jet wash this driveway for 200 quid, if I jet wash Iceland's car park for £3,000, wow, brilliant. I just need one Iceland a week. And that's what they believe. But it's everything else that goes with it, right?
Well, talk about the payment terms, because that's a big one that I'd never heard of, and no one else knows.
That is it, isn't it? I can chase payments. When I built my cleaning and maintenance company, it's over 2 million in the commercial world, right? In the commercial world. I never dealt with anyone in domestic. It was all B2B, right? At any one point, I would be owed anything up to £400,000 owed in outstanding invoices. Some of them would go 120 days. But nothing goes away. I can't say to the bank, sorry, I can't pay you. I can't pay me unit. I can't pay me mortgages because I haven't been paid. You have to still pay it. And people do get absolutely drawn in with this commercial world. And it is, I'm not going to slide on a bit of a tangent. But look,
No, it's important because people, I get it all the time. How do I get into commercial? And it is important to talk about.
It is. And I think, but if your goal is to be commercial, right? If you want to set up in this business and be a commercial contractor, then you need to understand these, And what I would suggest is don't bother doing the domestic work.
Pick one or the other.
Yeah, embed yourself in the commercial world. Hang out where the commercial hang out. Build that reputation. Build your personal brand, and just do commercial. You're probably going to need to be, unless you've got a lot of money behind you, you're probably going to need to be factored, which is a payment scheme to get money. So I don't know if people who don't know what factoring is, Factoring is a bank facility where you do the work for a commercial customer today. I put the invoice on the factoring portfolio tonight, and the factoring company will pay me between 80 and 95% of that invoice tomorrow. Then you've got like a credit line till the invoice gets paid. But once it goes over a certain day, then they start taking more money off you. But that's the only way, I would say, unless you've got quite a big buffer behind you, most businesses, commercial businesses, run with factoring. They run with factoring because you just don't know when you're going to get paid. You really don't. And the other thing is, you don't know when they're going to go bust. That's a big thing. I've had 2 companies stand me.
I was going to say, just briefly, tell that story, that crazy story about the guy when you all turned up. You told me that before.
So I work for a commercial B2C company. We were doing a load of work for them, and we were basically, he had the contracts with the councils. He was pricing the work. Say he was pricing a clean at £1,000, right, to the council. The council were going, brilliant, that's cheap. Yeah, we'll have it. He was then coming to other contractors saying, can you price this work, right? Can you do this work? I would say, yeah, it's £2,000. He would give me the order. I'd go and do it and think, brilliant, I'm going to make £2,000 on this. I'd go and do it. He would get paid because he's only charging the council £1,000. And I wasn't getting paid. Anyway, what we got drip fed a little bit to keep everyone interested, right? But there was lots of work, obviously, because he was winning everything. The day he went bust, the day we found out he was getting bust, I drove to his offices in Abingdon, and he was in Dubai getting married. And I was about the 9th, 10th contractor that had turned up to find him. I was going to fill him in, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Was it like $1 million or something?
Yeah, so when the insolvency practitioner sent out what we're going to get, the way they write it is they write the dearest value at the top to the lowest at the bottom. And there was about 70 contractors on this page. And I was about 55 on the list, and he owed me 30-odd thousand. The top one was a roofing contractor from Bristol, and he owed them over £1 million. Mate, honestly, I just like that. So that's the other thing with commercial. You don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know who you're dealing with. You really don't. Not everybody in this world has the same integrity and the same values as you. And in the commercial world, there's a lot of horrible people. Domestically, they're not going to go bust, are they?
It's important for you to have told that story, I think, and to mention that, because a lot of people's vision is commercial, like mine was. But, and it still might be, still can be, but just that's a bit of extra info that people might not have had. So I think that's really good.
Well, it's just something to think about, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's just to think about. If I was advising someone today, I would always advise, especially in this industry, domestic. Why? You do the job, you're paid within 24 hours. Yeah. They can't move out. They can't go bust. They're there, aren't they? Cash flow. Absolutely.
So we've got about 10 minutes left here. I just want to touch on one thing before we head towards the end of it. Is the Facebook groups for me. And anything on social media. If a lot of you are probably in these groups, Pressure Washing UK, Roof Cleaning UK, all that kind of stuff. These Facebook groups are really good, I think, for advice and stuff, but they can be an absolute cesspit, and they can scare off a lot of people, I think. I just want to talk about this for a sec. I see so many times that people will post thinking about starting a pressure washing company or roof cleaning company. Should I? Is the work there? The amount of don't bother, it's saturated, waste of money, save your money, all this kind of stuff I see is crazy. I think there's 2 reasons. One, they're gatekeepers. They don't want people coming in. And number 2 is that they just don't know how to run a successful pressure washing business and market and get leads and really grow. So they're just telling everyone that it's shit and it's saturated and don't bother. If you want to start a pressure washing business or a roof cleaning business here, you can absolutely do it. There is work there. Look how many houses there are. Look how many properties there are to clean. Don't be put off by these Facebook groups. I see so much rubbish in there every single day that I've just muted it now. I don't want to bother looking at it. But don't let them put you off. You can absolutely do it. Half of the people in these groups do not know what they're doing, and that's why there's no work for them. I don't know if you think the same, Matt, but I just wanted to mention that if anyone's getting put off at all by starting a business.
There is so much negativity, and I think
That's the word, negativity.
I think you've hit the nail bang on the head, mate. People are terrified, and if you look at the people that are saying it, it's never the young up and coming, right? It's not the young up and coming entrepreneurs. Yep. It's all the old and bold. So all the old and bold that have been doing it for 30 years, and it's been word of mouth, and now the business is starting to suffer because this new breed of social media is becoming alive with it. It's a new way of marketing. It's a new way of building your personal brand, and they're just terrified that their industry is disappearing. You know, there's good and bad in everything, right? There's good and bad in everything. Is this market growing? Yes, it's growing at a rate that is massively growing. Roof cleaning at the moment is a buzz, right? It's the latest hot topic, right? I see it through the Cobra Air sales, you know. And look, and this is a prime example, right? I'm selling Cobra Airs, right, to people in my postcodes, which you would think I wouldn't do because it would damage my roof cleaning company. So if I thought it was saturated and I thought it was going to damage it, surely I wouldn't sell them Cobra Airs. I just wouldn't sell them, would I? But like, no, can't have one of them. I'll sell it to anyone. Anyone who wants one can have one. You know, the next one's going into Gloucester next week. He is in my postcode area. He is direct competition. But I'm happy to sell him a machine because I do what I do. He does what he does. We're two different completely companies and offerings, two different price levels, and there's plenty of work for everyone. For everyone. There's just not, you know, so there's not, you don't need to worry about, oh, you know, there's 10 power washers around me. So what? Just be the best. Just be the best. That's it.
Are there more people? Yes. Is it harder? Yes. Is there lots of work? Yes. That's what I would say. Harder than ever, absolutely, but just stand out and do what you need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Just be the best.
Yeah.
Be the best
is good.
And do it with integrity and be authentic. That's it.
We've only got a few minutes left here. So we're going to do a segment each time where we ask each other an unprepared question. Have you got one for me? Do you want me to go, or do you want to go?
You go first, because I haven't got one. I forgot all about it.
I want to go on.
Go on, you go first.
It's relevant to this. What is your why? Why are you doing this? Why don't you, one, get a job, or two, retire? Why are you doing it? Why do you get out of bed every day and do this?
I think I like to be busy. No, I don't think. My background is military, fire service, business. I think me having so many businesses and spinning so many plates. I've got Cobra Air, I've got the mentoring, I've got the roof cleaning, and I've got William Hale Fire and Security. I've got a lot of businesses doing a lot of work every day. I think it stops the demons from creeping into my mind because I'm busy 24/7 with work, and that's how I operate. It just keeps everything at bay, and I think that's why I do it, definitely.
Wow, honest, good answer.
Yeah,
man.
I think that's what
good
it is.
Answer.
I think it is. So I need a question for you now, don't I?
we got 4 minutes, I think.
4 minutes. Right, let me think of a question that'll go 4 minutes.
Keep this short.
If you were to start again tomorrow in exterior cleaning, what short-term and long-term goals would you set? Short-term, 12 months, long-term, 5 years.
Short-term, I would say I want to hit consecutive 10K months, because I think hitting 10K months opens up your business and it gives you a lot of profit. It lets you invest in your marketing and it lets you invest in your equipment. And if you want more vans, it can do that. So 10K months would be my short term. Just how can I hit them every single month? What do I need to do? And honestly, 5 years would be to sell. I'd build to sell, because cleaning businesses are in demand. And if you have a cleaning business in 5 years that's got recurring. Maybe you got a window cleaning round, or you've got regular cleans, maybe a bit of commercial. I know we touched on that. You got really good books. Your socials are popping off. You got thousands of followers. You got customers booking in every other year. I think you can sell that for a nice figure. So I'd be looking to sell. So yeah, 12 months, 10k months every month, 5 years, have it sold, and go and live in Portugal.
Yeah, hey, good answers. I like it. I like them. Yeah, really good, really good. And I just quickly on that point, right? And I hear it so many times. If you're starting today, always start with the idea to sell. Always.
Yeah.
Even if you're not going to sell, start it and build it with the intention to sell. Doesn't mean you're going to sell it, but it means you'll build it correctly. That's top tip.
Cool. Right. So I think that's episode 1 wrapped up there. We've got a couple of minutes left, so we're going to end it there so we don't go over.
Cool.
I think that's been a really good episode 1, I think. This is going to build the foundations for the up and coming, the next 11 episodes. Like I said at the start, it's going to be 12 episodes and then just random ones after that. But hopefully this has given you an idea of how to start, where to start. And if you don't do this can hurt you long term. So make the changes now, come up with a vision, set your goals, and it'll really help you in the next episode. The next episode is the power of social media, so keep an eye out for that. Matt, you enjoyed it? First episode?
Loved it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's really good talking about it, innit? And just helping people. Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it.
Right. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you later.